Well, hey there, welcome to Worth It Wednesday. Every Wednesday we send a principle worth learning, question worth answering, and a recommendation worth taking. We call it Worth It Wednesday, and if you want to get on this email list, you can sign up at pathforgrowth.com. Today's principle is that awe is the gateway to wisdom. And it's related to Proverbs 1:7, which says that fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And that was a verse that really honestly confused me for a while. And I think it confuses a lot of people because I think culturally, when we hear the word fear, we think terror. And so we're supposed to be terrified of God, and that's the beginning of wisdom. And that doesn't really make sense. That feels like it contradicts a lot of the rest of the Bible. And so what's going on here? Well, we need to recognize that fear in this context doesn't mean what we're thinking of as terror. What does it mean? It means deep-seated awe and reverence and respect. It means that we collide mentally and emotionally with how big and grand something is compared to how small we are. And what does that do? Well, it gives us outrageous humility, and it starts to help us realize how little we actually know. And so that's really helpful, right? So when we engage in awe, right, when we engage in fear of the Lord, if you can get there, well, what are we doing? We're saying, wow, look how big God is. But also, wow, look how small I am. Wow, look at this creation. Wow, look how little I can actually create. Wow, look at everything that's being controlled. Wow, look at how little I can actually control. And it's in that accurate and realistic recognition of what's actually going on here that what do we become? Well, we become someone that's incredibly wise. Now, it does not mean that we become someone that's passive. It does not mean that we become a victim. It does not mean that we allow circumstance to wash over us. It just means that we become someone that's outrageously and incredibly humble. It means that we become someone that's outrageously and incredibly centered. It means that when you operate with fear of the Lord, or when you operate from a posture of awe, it means that you have an accurate viewpoint of oneself. It means that you are right-sized. And so what do we do with that? Well, there's a handful of things that we could do, but I would say one good thing to do is pursue awe. Go do things and engage in conversations and visit places that force you to recognize with the grandeur of what you get to be a part of how beautiful this world is, of how incredible people are, of how, just blessed beyond your wildest belief that you even get to have a spot. And in the mix of understanding how big and how grand the universe is, then also reflect on how small you are and how that small part, although small, really matters. Because it clearly mattered because you're here. And you know how much it took you to get here? Have you ever actually read some of those studies on what are the chances that you actually exist today? You want to generate some awe? Go look some of that stuff. So pursue awe, because awe is the gateway to wisdom. Y'all have a killer Wednesday. Again, if you want to get on this email list, you can sign up for it at pathforgrowth.com. We'll see y'all soon.